Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's not morning. It's 1:50 on the clock. 1 is the Magician, 50 is the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment, happy family, happy endings. And let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths first. Take a deep breath. Appreciate your company. Okay, I have a Metatron read, I have a message of the day, a union read, and a twin flame read that's in front of you on the table. And we're going to roll the die. Let's see what's going on for the twins this lovely day of December 18th of the full moon. I'm on the East Coast and it's at 11:35, I believe, tonight. So we're at the full moon day for the twin flames. We have Sagittarius. And again, Sagittarius is leaving the south node on the 22nd. We have the number 12, which is December. It's also the energy of the hangman in Pisces, or for me it's Capricorn, which we're in Sagittarius to Capricorn right now. And then we have Neptune here as well, which came up already once this week, which is all about Pisces and Neptune. Neptune. So really dreamy energy at the end of the cycle with the 12, seeing new perspectives with the hanging man. And again, the focus on the final push of release with this full moon for Sagittarius. There's going to be a lot of Sagittarius release with this full moon. And it's really dreamy, but yet there may be some Capricorn undertones there too, since we're going into Capricorn as well. So kind of introducing that energy a bit on top of the Pisces Sagittarius energy, which are both mutable signs. So let's see what else is going on. Okay. The first read is the morning read I did this morning, which is Metatron. There's definitely some cool messages that came through. This is the Metatron deck. This is Amanda Ellis's deck, if you watch her channel. And let's see. So today adds up to 35. I said the full moon's at 11:35, and today adds up to 35, which is the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. So again, releasing that Sagittarius wounded warrior, which is that victim mentality. So as I always say, that we come into this world, as the wounded warrior, as a human. And now we're transferring to the fool's journey. Instead of being the victim, we're now going to be the fool with an open heart, that very childlike energy, taking that leap of faith in our knowing, right? Following our own guidance. So, along with the moon today, and today's the 18th, so that's the moon as well. So we got a lot of full moon energy and a lot of releasing of the wounded warrior today, which is really good. So it's going to be a big push. Yeah, for some reason I was guided to watch an Elon Musk video this morning. After all, he is a very intelligent man. There's a lot of information he has to share. But remember too, in Sam the Illusionist channeling, it came through that Elon is a starseed, but he has also, as a human, used his free will to connect with dark energies. But we also just found out from Elena Danan that, oh, there's a white cat sitting in front of my house. I've never seen the white cat before. They're like in the same position as me, looking out at the woods across the street. That is so funny. All white. As I talk about Elon, it looks like Elon actually. So it was important because if the dark entity or elite energies were given 5 months to get off the planet back in July, and now's that time they're leaving the planet because they had 5 months to get everything in order so that the economy wouldn't collapse and those kind of things. So of course Elon would be very instrumental in all of that. So he had contracted with dark energies, which went against his plan as a starseed, right, to raise the vibrations. But I really feel in the past 5 months, I've been noticing how I'd mentioned that too when he came up for me in meditation, that he was like at a crossroads in his life, whether he was going to go to the light or the dark. So we still don't know whether he's, leaving the planet or is he staying, and has chosen the enlightened path. So he's been talking a lot about that the past 5 months. So it has yet to be seen, and let me know your thoughts about that or your feelings about that, perhaps any psychic downloads you've received. And yeah, so here's my Metatron read. This was at 10:55 this morning. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 55 is the Excalibur, the Truth, the Eighth of Swords. The Eighth, I said Eighth instead of Ace of Swords. The Eighth of Swords, and actually the Eight of Swords has been coming up a lot. It came up a lot. It came up in this read to do as the challenge spot there, the Eight of Swords. So that imprisonment and releasing of that imprisonment is definitely coming up. Okay, so the underlying energy card at the bottom of the deck was the Dimensional Gateway, which is the 33 of the Unity Consciousness, that Christ Consciousness, the Golden Gate, that picture of Jesus standing in the Golden Gate with 2 flames, 2 pillars, and 2 wings. Again, Centaur Gate's been coming up, of course, and that's like the opening to the 12/21 solstice. So it's that whole gate energy, that portal opening. I got some more information about that as well, which will come up in this read. Underneath the Dimensional Gateway was first Metatron and the Rainbow Bridge, 27, which is the Ace of Wands, that third energy as well. And then boundaries, to make sure you set boundaries every day with your intentions, which was coming up as the number 14, which is the Temperance card of patience, right? Be patient with yourself every day. Make sure to set boundaries. Do your intentions, even though you may get impatient sometimes because you have other things to do. Make sure you set boundaries for yourself and clear your energy. And as we go into this read, the first card was detachment. So, and again, that is very much in line with the full moon release here. Is that 37? I think it is 37. Yep. 37 is, or is it 32? Let's see here. So detachment. So detachment's 37, yeah, it's the King of Cups, unconditional love. So it's saying detach from drama. Here's the first card out. Okay, to look up and be in unconditional love, 37. And I love the colors in that, in the rainbow. So, and that was the first card out, so I'm feeling like that's more in the sunrise this morning. There's no sun outside for me today. It's very kind of like glum and dark outside. Although the squirrel was looking around a lot around the grass for food, so I put some seed out for the squirrel. And then I just saw a white cat in front I've never seen before. That's really significant for you guys. So I started doing the read here. It was 11:11. The Metatron Rainbow Bridge, starting out with that detachment card. Detach from drama. Go within if you need to. Do your stretching and all that kind of stuff to release the energy. But the Rainbow Bridge of the third flame, that third energy of Metatron, as Metatron and the Rainbow Bridge, the magnetic energy being the wind beneath our wings, as an inspiration to set boundaries daily and remember to take your key with you on your journey when you go out amongst other people, through the arcs and the steeples, the bridges or the overpasses, and the castles. And the castle is coming up as, you know how I always call the Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower, because that card has the castle towering that looks like an E. So it has 3 posts on top that looks like an E lying on its back, or like a W. But today in the castle, there's 4 of those, which brings up the 3 and the 4. So the E tower is the 3 of the Empress energy, or the 3 of the circle, And then the castle is the masculine energy of the square, right? The foundation. But that can be the blocks as well. But it's more of the stability energy. So that was very interesting. And of course, it's the Empress and the Emperor as well. Taking the rainbow bridge, or the arc, to the pearly gates of the Golden Gate of Unity Steeple, which is also the bottom of a heart. So the picture of the heart was coming up, and you notice that the heart contains an E on top that's on its face, right, that fell down like an M, and a V. So for me, I always resonate with it because it's like EV, like my name, Ev. But it's the M or E on its that fell down over the V, and the V is it stands for the portal to the womb, the divine feminine. And then it was showing me the heart on its side, right? Because on one side it shows less than 3. And then when it's upside down, it's 2 U's of the W with the pyramid on top of the masculine. So 2 U's under the pyramid, or the apple bottom to the iron cross in the back of the wings. The double U's with a hi-hat on top, which is also the lambda, which is in the coding of the Spartans in the Greek capital. And then the arc came up here, which is the upside down U. The intersection of 2 sets, A and B, or A and then that symbol B, where all elements of A equal basically all elements of B, which means they're equal. So the intersection of 2 equals coming up here, and then the hat, or the upside down V, which is like the masculine pyramid, except it doesn't have the bottom on it. The circumflex or carré on board, on the computer board. The control and that symbol sends an oxle, O-X-L-E, which I'm not familiar with. I'm sure some of you are. So of course in math that is also to the power of. So it's like 5 to the power of 2, or 5 squared, which would be 5 times 5, which is 25, which is that Knight of Wands. So anyway, it's exponentially when you multiply. So it's like 2 U's, the W is 2 U's squared. And we just talked about the circle and the square coming up, the 3 and the 4, which is the 7. The circle box opened. So you would normally think of a circle as a box. So just the description of that circle creates a box. But this, just imagine a ball that's actually a box. So you open that up. So it's on a hinge, like it's opened up, like a jewelry box or something. And then squared, or 0 times 0, which equals 0 point, of course. The exponential power of the human embodiment of Source. So again, the heart, with the top of the heart on the left, is E being greater than. And E being energy, which is love, is greater than. And all are less than 3. The M over the V is the heart upright, which is 2 equals joined in the vortex, or the portal to the womb, which is that V, right? The entrance to the womb. The divine feminine is that upside down holy grail, basically, with on top of the V, which is an ice cream cone. The holy grail over the portal equals the ice cream cone, whereas that inverted becomes a dreidel, right? And then the right side up pyramid without the bottom on it, or the upside down or inverted V, becomes the portal of the masculine, the mouth, going down to the heart. So the dreidel came up with 4 letters, Nun, Gimel, He, and Shin, which is just a game to cover up for when they were studying the Torah, and they weren't allowed to, so they had a game to play so that they wouldn't get arrested for being, for studying the Torah. And it means a great miracle happened here. The heart equals, right, the two humps on top and the V below. The heart equals the divine feminine birthing twins in the womb. The upside down heart is the divine masculine speaking of the 2 U's, or twins, in his heart. Okay, and then at 12:21, I had to stop to respond to my sister. But that was all about my daughter is sick again. She's fine, but she has COVID again. but I was corresponding with my sister about that. So that's a personal thing that I was dealing with, but all is well. But that was at 12:21, which was significant because it was I can't talk about it, but it was really kind of funny dealing with the whole situation. Not that it's funny that my daughter's sick, but she's fine. She's just in bed resting. So detach from the drama, guys, with the King of Cups and unconditional love, and look up in the sun. And then 12:33 came up again, which is the Hanging Man, and Jesus, which is the Hanging Man. So again, seeing things from a new perspective. And Jesus came up in my texting with my sister as well, which was why I was cracking up. Because she actually used Jesus, but in saying Jesus, but she actually ended up asking Jesus the question instead of me. It was just funny. 12:33 is the Christ vibration, the inner child, and asking your inner child what is weighing on you in the moment. Is this in this collective Gaia flowering awakening that we're going through, and our future ancestors on the path of the sun? That all the work and healing work that you're doing right now is passed along in energetic exchange to your children and theirs, and so on. So go within to clear the shadow as the diamond light surrounds you. The 18th was coming up as half of the 36, which is the Atlas energy, the way to the world. So go within to your inner child to ask what's weighing on them on this 18th of the day of the 18th and the moon of the full moon of the 18th. Transforming light and dark by standing in the light to reveal your shadow that's always just behind you when you face the light. From the chaos of life and birth, or rather not life but birth, there can be chaos in life, but the chaos, the ultimate chaos is the birth, to the death, which is the opposite of that, leaves the monkey in the middle, life in the middle, where the King of Wands today needs balancing of duality and polarity with the King of Swords, which is a purifying of white light energy, of innocence. So when the masculine is, even you're as a feminine, this is about your inner masculine as well. When the King of Wands is off balance, that means everyone needs to rebalance their masculine into more innocence, because he's too much in his passion or ego. So here the King of Swords comes up right after him, counterbalancing that in order to bring us back to the middle again. Purifying with white light of energy of innocence, the diamond light is like the angel's wings, and seeing the reflection of your ancestors in the sunset and endings on the pier. That even endings, showing you that even endings at the end of each day are beautiful, each and every day. But just as the horizon, they are not real, it's an illusion. You are seeing each other again. Any relatives who may have passed or friends who have passed are coming back again, especially those who want to participate in the ascension. Your family is returning. As fall goes to winter, let go of control on the square of the solstices and equinoxes here. The Knight of Wands is inspired with a love for life and with compassion, and asking yourself, who are you today? Because that might change from day to day. But it's not only asking you who you are, you're asking for two, because you're two yous. Who are both of you today? The innocent, loving child, your soulmate, your twin. And then at 1:01 p.m., the bees are pollinating by initiating. The pollination is initiating of joy and happiness, like Thanksgiving every day at the Christmas holidays. Leading the way from dark into light with making peace treaties, shaman groundedness, clearing your pipes with truth of the codependency of the Knight of Swords, freeing themselves by knowing that we're all one and not separate. Not trying to bend the spoon physically, but by becoming one with it, it melts like putty in your hands, which is the energy they want. Spirit's connecting is the energy they want you to understand when having perhaps disagreements with your family. Family circles coming together with the square of the solstice. Self-satisfaction and safety and warmth in numbers, and mingling at sunset as your ancestors reflect you. In finding Excalibur, the silver sword, in deep union waters at the full moon here of 12/18/21 at 11:35 Eastern Standard Time, remembering that the sword releases from the stone, just like that spoon, by becoming one with it, and then it releases, not by you pulling on it, but by becoming one with it, by merging with it. So whatever's got a hold of you, melt into it instead of resisting it, transmuting its and your shadow in a boxing match into a win-win. Two U's, in, which also can be two U's with I, Jesus, for my coding. So I, in the lowercase letters, I-N, for me is I, Jesus, like Apple, I, Jesus. And then in capitals would be I am that I am, Christed, in unity consciousness. Two U's, and then in times two would be four U's, or two humans dancing between their masculine and feminine. Four U's with in, which means a house or a womb, or this game that you have to clear the field, but without going over the line or without crossing the line, without interfering with the other person's energy. It's also about the lair and the den, the house or the womb. Or two U's, two hearts of the divine feminine, and the in is the divine masculine, I am that I am. We are free from the stone, at last, as we raised our frequency in understanding of the moon and Orion dark energies, and Mars as well. We were able to merge with it and release our chains. At 120 is the magician, spirits connecting with me. The 20 of judgment, the underlying energy was coming up here. They were showing me 11:11 to 12:21, the 40 days and nights, which Patricia, that I talked about the other day, was talking about. The 11:11 to 12:21 is, or 12:20, 40 days and 40 nights to inspire your travels to unity consciousness, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And for me, I always get God was always giving me their birthdays. It's the 7th and the 13th of December as Sagittarius, from 12:7 to 12:13, with 12:12 in between, the Sagittarius, the actual vortex there. The 7 of the Chariot and the 13 is the transition period between. That 14 is actually the beginning of the next cycle, the higher love of the angelic realms guiding you on your new paths to help you get your footing for the 12:14 to 12:20 to 21 and beyond portal through January 7th, 2022, which equals 14 again, which is that temperance card of the patient angel, that higher love, taking one step at a time off the beaten path, being balanced and patient. And there's the white cat yawning on the, I don't know if you can see them. They're right there. That's the white cat. I guess they're bored with what I'm talking about. So cute. Okay. So January 7th, 2022 is coming up as adding up to 14, but they're accentuating that 7 to 7, 12:7 to 17, because that's, I was given those as the birthdays of God and Christ, but God was actually 12:7 to 12:13, right? Because God made the world in 7 days. So it's always God being funny with me, but that's Saggy, Mr. Ed energy. And then the going to the 7th of January, which is the date I was given as Christ's birthday, and then January 1st, or New Year's, between. The 7 to the 14, the 21, and the 28. The 7 days of each week, or the 7th, right? So there's 4 weeks in a month, and the 7th day of each week, which the world was created on that 7th tone. So the family woes are requiring balancing and of the duality of the King of Wands, letting go in time to release at the full moon, which is tonight. The child with the weight of the world go within and purify with innocence and a love for life. Balancing the Atlas with the weight of the world, and the devil, the shadow side, with the King of Swords, which is purifying and getting going with the Knight of Wands, right? Because you don't want to stay in the King of Swords, because then that can go too much in the cold energy, right? But it's always balancing back and forth. When there's too much heat or passion and ego, you go into purification. And when there's too much of the purification because it gets cold and detached, you go back into that lust for life of the Knight of Wands, of getting going and being passionate about life. Then the third section of Gaia, expanding the mother at the holidays, blossoming in the chaos of the holidays and all the family coming over, the gatherings, allowing all the light in, because she knows that she is held when it's over, being authentically you, innocent and loving, at 1:33 to 4, which is the 1 of the magician, 33 of the Christ energy, the unity consciousness, and the 34 of the energetic exchange with your ancestors and your future ancestors. So that was a really beautiful message today. All right, so now we have the message of the day that I did last night, and that is this message here. So my 4-deck read, and this is the Animal Spirit deck, along with the Lenormand Reverie, the Gilded Tarot, and then the Kipper deck. So this message of the day was done at 10:14 last night, 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 14 of, again, the Temperance card, and the beginning of the cycle. The underlying energy being the Lamb, the Birds, the Page of Swords reversed, and Courtship. The Lamb has their ears up as target practice. With wise community of birds, the Page of Swords is reversed or spreading rumors about the Emperor's courtship here. With the Panther attacking because they cause chaos, and the Hummingbird whispering high vibe energies to counteract the Panther's attack, the Eagle then darts in for the kill with the golden egg in the nest, needing to be quiet as a mouse with the Otter and the Lamb so they don't get caught, so they may be playing dreidel. The child in transition must sail or fly over hill, over dale, fighting their way out, as the Empress and the King of Wands and Rugrats perhaps, or mice and all the King's men, 1-to-1, with direction towards the 777s and sudden wealth of abundance, which we were just talking about, the 7s of 7, 14, 21, and 28, with a wise group in bliss of the Knight of Pentacles reversed, loss of a lover, or no love loss here, and out of options but to stand up to bad news or for a vulnerable child, as the Queen of Cups is working hard on the journey of despair with a pup, with a mature man or mature worldly man who's married or on the wounded warrior's path as opposed to the fool's journey, courting another. Or the Empress wants marriage and the Emperor wants courtship, or father is demanding a marriage, or the Empress and Emperor have the wounded warrior between them, or perhaps their own victim mentality, which is causing problems between them. The first section here is the Crow and the Bunny. The Crow is the power woman who's very present or with her gifts, with dysfunctional family or loss and needing to travel or journey toward them. With the Bunny, Knight of Cups, taking a chance with the Emperor, inspired by unexpected income or unexpected incoming. So the Crow is their guard, but she is their protector, right? So everyone can see that the Crow standing guard on the collective awakening is, right, someone in charge of helping and protecting others. But what they don't realize is the Bunny may be in fear because they're really empathic and they pick up everybody's energies all the time. And what they don't realize is that the Bunny is the Crow's protector. So again, eyes can be deceiving depending on what the situation is. So it also might cost a lot for her to travel to the Emperor and gift him perhaps with their presents or actual gifts. So we had 1047, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the 47 of the 7 of Cups, the bee and the wolf. And the bee came up in the Metatron deck as well as pollinating the flowers. And the wolf in this deck is very much stunned into submission, whether they got caught in the act or whether they can't believe what they're seeing, or they don't know how to react because now they're not really allowed to be the leader anymore because now everyone has to follow their own guidance. So, where is there room for me then? So the carpenter bee is busy while the wolf watches, stunned or paralyzed, can't believe what they see, as the bee exposes the powers or is energized by the institution, found an escape, and there's justice with sudden wealth here. The wolf is leaving the hen house behind to union of a higher love with a message of concern. So this, maybe the wolf never thought this path would be available to them because everybody always counted on them and they had no leeway because they were constantly working or being needed. So this, they didn't realize, would have this opportunity as a way out for them to do something they actually want to do for themselves. The bee found a way out to the Emperor, and the wolf and or fox went the other direction. So they may have going on two different paths. The third section here is the dragonfly and the phoenix, where two hearts as one are rising. The dragonfly Queen of Cups at 11:11 is crossing bridges. And this was 11:11 p.m., so it's not the same as Metatron when I said 11:11 was this morning. So last night, 11:11, the Queen of Cups is crossing bridges as the Queen of Cups reversed, which can be the same person or a second Queen of Cups, false person, or someone who's masked in the tango with their lover. And the Phoenix is the Knight of Wands rising with a ring, happy to expose to the lover, or the shadow lover. And this can be a ring can be an actual ring, but it also could be calling. It can also be the circle of trust and commitment. So the Queen of Cups reversed is also coming up as their sunshine. The fourth section here is the crocodile and the cosmic egg, keeping them in check. The crocodile is burned by Atlas, and the Ten of Cups reversed unhappy family or unfulfilled, and burdened again by ship with nothing to anchor into, or looking for a place to land their spaceship while, and we're talking about the crocodiles, that could be a reptilian energy, they can't get in anymore. They're not allowed on Earth anymore. So looking for a place to land their spaceship while the cosmic egg collective awakening in a magic adventure, implementing a plan for a chaotic health system. The Ten of Cups reversed is making a plan to invest in med beds, perhaps. So an emotionally unsatisfied world or family or whatever it is are making a plan to invest in med beds, perhaps. So this may be coming in sooner than we thought, because we weren't supposed to get med beds till close to 2180, I believe. It's 2:22 on the clock. I was just getting Elon Musk again. 3140 on this clock, which is that chaos in the 40 of the Page of Cups, which is innocence. And the innocence of Elon coming back in. It's making me want to cry because I think he's coming back to the light, which would be really significant. And if he's still here, he must have chosen that because the elites had to leave the planet. So the fifth section here is the whale raccoon. And by the way, he's Cancer, I think. The whale raccoon is both exhausted from the dark underground bases and the trash cans with dirty masks, or both succumbing to the dark. The whale grounding integrating a test or a closer look and making things bigger than they actually are. And that I definitely dealt with that this morning, right? Because everyone always wants to make it bigger than it is, right? So my daughter tested positive. She wasn't feeling great yesterday, but she's fine. She's sick and she's getting better. You don't have to make it more than that. So with the Hermit or Virgo or the Queen of Wands thief losing their mind, perhaps with an old person who's losing theirs. So somebody could be taking care of their parent who's got dementia or Alzheimer's. But it also can be over-isolating and losing your mind or feeling like you're going crazy, which the awakening can do to people. The raccoon with the polar bear, Dark Mother or the powers that be, and Antarctica struggling with the injustice of being forced to leave as the King of Cups in poverty by the Queen of Wands and perhaps a crazy man that she's with, and that could be a parent she's taking care of, and then the Wounded Warrior with Virgo in their chart, the Queen of Wands, not the Wounded Warrior, maybe she is. The Queen of Wands is coming up with Virgo in her chart, and the King of Cups is coming up with Libra in their chart, but not their sun signs, or two young ones destined to meet up. And the sixth section here is the stingray, the worm, the mouse, and the horse, which is Mr. Ed. Plugged in, turned on by the worm, newbie, with fresh juice. So on the dark side, that could be a dark person who's turned on by new blood. I mean, in one sense, that's really positive, right? New employee will make them inspired again, but it can be both sides of the coin. It can be being inspired by a new employee or something like that, or a new child, or inspired by, evil deeds of that new juice, or taking advantage of children, of vulnerable people. But this was coming up, I swear, the Green Mile. Somebody must have been watching the Green Mile last night, because this was literally the Green Mile. It was coming up with the mouse, which is Mr. Bojangles, and it wasn't just the mouse coming up. He's coming up with the prison, which is the prisoner with the mouse in the picture. So Mr. Bojangles, protected by the horse, or Mr. Ed, or the stingray, must choose between the worm, the rat, and the horse, or mincemeat. So that could be someone like in the olden days who had to choose between, if they were going to survive, Do they eat the worm on the ground, or they choose their little mouse friend or their horse, which is their ride? The stingray wounded warrior is unplugged, or this could be an unplugged as opposed to plugging in to the newbie. The stingray wounded warrior unplugging with synchronicities and options and heaven in their eyes as the wealthy man in transition. The worm of the family tree, which is a newbie who may be intimidated by their family, but they're with the truth and in their essence to set them free. A gift for the wealthy man, perhaps, fresh meat. The mouth standing up for self got away, but they were deceived by that. So maybe they really didn't get away and then were imprisoned again. So got caught again at 11:33 to 34, which is the Christ vibration going into that energetic exchange. So Mr. Ed, or the horse, in the sun, exposing the Empress reversed to the official man on the fool's journey at 11:35. And then synchronicities of the truth. Deception by the Empress reversed. The wealthy man's gifts, imprisoning or imprisoned by an official person. Or watching the Green Mile with Mr. Bojangles, with a prisoner. The stingray may be the brat, or it could be Tom Hanks as the good man plugged into John Coffey, because both of them got plugged into Coffey. John may be the worm, right? Who's very innocent and fresh meat, right? Because they're pure, with their truth and gifts. As Mr. Ed, of course, also could be John Coffey, right? Because he's got the power of God. And then we had the wife of the official person who was sick and needed help. So you can see why this was coming up as the Green Mile. So definitely brain issues here. So it's showing up like this woman had brain issues and can't control what they say or do, which in the movie, that's exactly what was happening. But she was lucky that coffee was available and gave her new life. For a lady with expectations or expecting them. Like even though she was not completely conscious, she was a bit out of it, she knew he was coming. And then the 28 came up with the twin flame, the 28 of the choice of path, or the twin flame energy. 11:43, which is justice, and the 43 of coming together. So literally, I'm just getting med beds too. Like John Coffey would be a med bed to heal. But that's also coming up as the twin flames, right? In union, being able to heal. It's very powerful. 11:43, the justice of coming together, truth and balance. And music coming up here, very important as well. And I watched a little bit of The Watcher last night. Or not The Watcher, The Witcher. And that was 9 to 111, which is like 9/11 kind of energy. So let's go into where is it? Yeah. All right. So the union energy here. All right. So this is my union read. Okay. So for those of you not familiar, it is 3D, 4D, 5D today. Sometimes I do 4. Whoops. Sorry about that. Give me just 1 second. I have to answer this. Hi, I'm actually recording right now. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I got your card.
Oh, okay. I'll call you back when I'm done.
Alright.
I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Sorry about that. It was my daughter, so I had to answer it. Okay. So here is my union read. 3D, 4D, 5D. This is the 3D, 4D, and 5D. The incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine. The feminine on the left, masculine on the right, and the bridge between them in the center. The underlying energies here of the 10 of Wands, and then the closing energy here of the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm going to show you the read on the table as well, which is my 7-deck read of all of the twin flame energies, not just the physical union. Okay, that's a 7-deck read. And again, if it doesn't resonate with you, it's because it's general. It's not supposed to be every message for you, but you need to discern that. And if you want something more personalized, you certainly can check my information out below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. And so this union read, 3D, 4D, 5D, was done at 4:09 p.m. yesterday. The 4 of the Emperor, the 9 of the Hermit. And the underlying energy was the Ten of Wands, and this deck is very much about the Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind. The center of the read was the Strength card, but in this deck it's very much the tiger jumping through the ring of fire, the portal, and then the Queen of Pentacles at the end there, who's not a very happy Queen of Pentacles. So Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind, breaking through to the other side, to the Queen of Pentacles with a stiff upper lip and perhaps fading coin. And coin can also mean Kohan or co-pilots. The incoming Divine Feminine here was the Ten of Cups, Karma, and Seven of Pentacles, which for me in this deck is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. The Divine Feminine is emotionally fulfilled and shining their light on hard work in a wake-up call, judgment, or announcement from the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, blossoming or opening the crown. And then I wrote 3 E's on their back, or 3 W's, but it's squared off like an E, because that was coming up in the cards in the union read. I want to show that to you. So just like I call the E-Tower, why I call it the E-Tower. All right, so let's see if I can close up the card so you can see it. Here. All right, so these 3 cards, this is that card I would say is the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower here, right? And that would be like the masculine trying to figure out how to get in. And this is where they're opening up because there's people coming into the E-Tower. But you see how there's an E on top. It's like the E-Tower. Now look at the other cards. Here is the 3 prongs of the light, and then there's 3 prongs of the flowering here. So 3, 3, and 3 E's on top, which is like the 3, 6, 9 energy as well. So I wrote those 3 E's down in the light, in the flowering petals, and the rolling stone of brick and mortar. On the sweat of hard laborers, the greatest of all is the birthing labor of love. The 3D here is the 7 of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the 9 of Swords. The Divine Feminine rising to tango with flame in hand, granting a wish, or Amy Grant also coming up here, as the Divine Masculine hiding in the woods, out of the sun to ground well, bridging with the Page of Cups, exuding innocent love, right, because we need to rebalance that King of Wands with the King of Swords, bringing it into innocent love with a message of love or puppy love toward the Divine Masculine. The 4D is the King of Cups, strength and transition, as the Divine Feminine with the King of Cups on their side, mastering their emotions, or a song of unconditional love and reflecting eyes like pools of Caribbean water. The Divine Masculine and transition through the portal, the dark night ending death or transformation, seeing the light at the end of the lens, or Shutter Island. Bridging through the ring of fire, the circle of trust, Centaur Gate, a fire gate, not Watergate, as Nixon comes up again. Oh my, I forgot my children are related to Nixon. More wounds to clear. And that was really funny because Nixon was impeached, right? And my daughter lives in Georgia, which is the peach state. So she, instead of impeached, she has to do the opposite, which is ex-peach, which means she had to live in the peach state and then not live in the peach state anymore. So that was kind of cool. And that came up right at 444, which is the angelic realms. So I was coming up first as must be peachy, or ex-peached, as the King of Cups in birth and death at the same time, meeting on the bridge. One pushed out, another pulled in, birthing a bubble of love, a profound intention. The 5D here is the 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Wands. The Divine Feminine Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile, in a freezing place above the group, as the Divine Masculine's grounded in a warm castle. And the castle has 4 prongs as opposed to the E, it has the 4, which is coming up as the 3 and the 4, the circle and the square. He's in the warm castle, right, of the hot energy as opposed to the cold energy of the feminine, which is the nothingness to the everythingness. But he's in the castle, the warm castle, with a friendly drawbridge. She with broken crystals, and he with 4 aligned flames in the sunset, bridging fire and ice in bliss, in the bliss state, which may be the peach state, who knows. Outgoing Divine Masculine here is the 6 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles. Again, the 6 of Pentacles, these 2 cards came up in the exact same spot. I think it was yesterday. So in this union read, this is the masculine side. These two cards, exactly the same as yesterday, I believe. And I shuffled really well. So, the outgoing divine masculine with the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Again, the Six of Pentacles sharing, or perhaps expected to settle out, and the Queen of Cups doesn't want to give up the life in which she's become accustomed to, with the divine masculine doing all the work for them. Or the Queen of Pentacles is expected to settle out with him, while he's working towards the Queen of Cups to build a castle, or just two women, the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups is happy emotionally, and the Queen of Pentacles is not, and resisting giving away her time, money, or effort at 5 p.m., which is a lot of source energy, backing up the 5 of change, freedom, and expansion. Or the Hierophant, or Taurus, as we go into North Node Taurus on the 22nd. So clarifying here, the Queen of Cups, I clarified these queens to see what more energy wanted to come up around their meanings. The Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles both came up upright, but with the Page of Pentacles reversed, or the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Page of Cups reversed, which can be a rejection or a child who's unhappy. Page of Cups reversed can be a spoiled child, but also can be a very vulnerable and shy child or a baby who's crying a lot. Right? So there's always two sides of the spectrum. The Queen of Pentacles, they could all be the children as well, right? So they could be grown children, because we're having gatherings right now. The King of Cups looks Scorpio for sure, and the Queen of Cups may be uncomfortable with the Page of Cups reversed, who may be rejected, spoiled, or being around Leo or Pet. They may be worried about that. Oh, that's interesting too. My daughter is very much a Page of Cups reversed because she's a sick Pisces, and she's got a little puppy. He's so cute, and we were talking about whether or not the puppy can get it or not. Or being vulnerable, being strong in a twist of fate, receiving a big passionate offer here. At 5:15, which is the Hierophant and the 15 of the shadow, or the devil, the Queen of Pentacles is resisting sudden change, or after a sudden event with the King of Cups, post-war, and instability with the Queen of Cups, or the King of Cups Scorpio and the Queen of Cups Cancer, or Pisces, went through the war together, and the Queen of Cups with the Emperor is unable to sleep, or suffering in silence and a lot of pain. The ultimate betrayal here, or with the 9 of Swords and 10 of Swords. So that can just be someone sick, or dealing with a lot of pain, or going through the ultimate betrayal. 9 and 10 of Swords are the worst pain in the deck. Could be a secret passion and implementing a plan with the Queen of Pentacles, or giving her the 7 of Pentacles, or getting her to come out to keep to herself, or investing in her, but she can't tell anybody, or paying her off to keep quiet and rising above a negative past, or falling out with difficult kids here. Or the Queen of Pentacles is the Divine Feminine as well, so it can play multiple parts here. Coming out or opening up the E-Tower perhaps for the feminine. The underlying energy is the 8 of Swords hostage energy, which we talked about already. It came up as the challenge in this read as well, the 8 of Swords. So here it is here as well. The 8 of Swords hostage, overworked or not working out. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, talking about hanging out with the kids in need of vacation, or hung out to dry, burned and or drained, or Leo or kids are feeling guilty, and the Knight of Wands rushes back while the Knight of Pentacles offers help to the Sovereign reverse, which can be their sibling, or just feeling powerless or dependent on the Capricorn King of Pentacles, or temptation that's waving, or the Devil ball and chain, with 2 kids, the Knight of Pentacles and the Sovereign reversed, and the King of Pentacles, who may be driving or moving, or Capricorn King of Pentacles is all about Cancer, or a new car, or his ascension process. Or this can be a family driving to a holiday party or a trip or vacation. So that was just the clarifiers. The Divine Feminine is rising to tango with the King of Cups, glad to get out of the cold place they were in, perhaps with a lot of ice or snow. The Divine Masculine may be dealing with their sister, or suffering in silence, or can't sleep in transition of a death or some kind of ending or change, or they're on pins and needles about crossing the drawbridge, making it halfway and not winning. So this could be meeting, right, needing to make peace, right, to come to a peace treaty that came up in the other read as well. So, and this is about the masculine being taught to compete, to win, like you win or die. And this is saying it's really hard for them to meet halfway because that means they don't win. So it's a real big wound for them to change, right? So, or in great pain, having to split or sell or lose a house or after how much work he put into it, right? So nobody would feel good about that. And then the bridge here is the Page of Cups. Birthing may be very painful, or could be a death or abortion here, but everyone seems okay with whatever it is that happened. So there maybe both people wanted the same thing. Except Pisces, who may feel betrayed or sick, or the Emperor upright Libra, King of Swords, is keeping his game face on. So he could be the Emperor, but actually be the Knight of Swords reversed in reality, but professionally keeping their game face on. The Divine Feminine came up with Aquarius energies and the King of Cups. The Divine Masculine was Scorpio, and the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. And between the Masculine and Feminine were Leo or Sag and the Page of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is opening up to the Divine Feminine's heart. So that could be a family or a group type family or emotional fulfillment that maybe all of a sudden presented or as an option to the Queen of Feminine's heart. The Divine Masculine manifesting a move to a 5D home, perhaps, to leave 3D suffering and silence or sister behind. The culmination of this twin flame read was the number 76, which is the Eight of Pentacles, which is working creatively, hopefully, and then alignment as well, getting your ducks in a row, perhaps having lots of awards or notches on your belt, that kind of energy. But overall is that kind of work and alignment energy of manifesting creative energy. The horizontal pillars came out to 29, 0, and 47, which is the Three of Wands, of being present in the moment, perhaps waiting for a ship to come in, but also being present to your gifts. And the 0 is that source energy, or just giving space between these things, of the Three of Wands being present, or gifts, and then the 47 of the Seven of Cups, which is seeing synchronicities or having lots of choices in heaven in your eyes, or which can present some confusion too if there's too many choices to make. The vertical alignment was 20 of Judgment, 0, 7 of the Chariot, 12 of the Hanging Man, 10 of the Wheel, 13 of the Death card, 6 of the Lovers, 0, and then 8 of the Strength card, which is also the dance or manifestation of dreams. And the message was coming up as present to gifts, sourcing synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, working to align. A decision to source a chariot or car, but that can be moving or traveling, ascending. And hang in high vibe transition to lover to source the dance and manifest creative work. And that was at 5:54 going into 5:55. So 5:54 is the Hierophant and the message, which is the Page of Swords. And then 5:55 as I turn the page. And then we go into the read in front of you, the twin flame read, the general read, and that was cut and dealt right on the nose at 6 o'clock. A lot of source energy behind the Lovers. And then at 6:09, Department of Orbs came up. And orbs is thoughts and words, but also blind men and orphans, or BS. So Department of Orbs at 6:09, which is the Lovers and the Hermit, or Gemini and Virgo. And then I finished clarifying at 6:22, which is the Lovers and the Fool's Journey. It was all about the number 18 on the code line, which is the moon again in today's date. All about completion with the C apart from that, C Om-pletion. Okay, for completion, if you want to complete, go to C Om-pletion. And the major arcana were Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, Abundance, which is the Empress, Higher Self, and Lovers. After the reads, the Strength card came up as well as Starseed, which is the Fool. And we just had 5 swords and 2 wands in this read. That was it. 52, which is the Queen of Swords. The major court cards are the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So they can be children, messages. And before the read was the 9 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. We had triple fours in this read. So again, that's been coming up a lot with the angelic realms, the triple fours. But it's also 4, 8, 12. And the square, which we were just talking about, the 3 and the 4. And the 3 did come up here with it, the 34, which is the 8 of Wands. The energetic exchange between the Empress and the Emperor, the circle and the square. the 7 altogether. And the balance, it's the dance between the masculine and feminine, the odd and the even, in order to balance things out. We have the number 1 of the magician, the 8 of the strength card in the dance, and the 10 of the high vibration and destiny. We also had the 13 of the death card, 34, which I told you, 48, which is walking away within, 810, which is 0 behind 81, source backing up the end of karma around the world. But we also had 46 in a lesser sense, which is the 6 of cups, children in the garden, 78 of the 10 of pentacles, family, dream family, or heaven on earth, and then also 67 perhaps of the knight of pentacles, loyal humble servant. So the code line was all about completion and completion, and to see with your eyes, see with your heart, see with your unity consciousness eyes, the Christ consciousness, and the 18 of the moon and today's date. The messages that came across were about Sophia expanding and contracting or reflecting the moral man in their high vibrational DNA, a counting game or board game, the prisoner seeing the lover that you are, regarding completion here and completion. Perhaps an initial musical attack, like the energy of a musical piece, that attacks. It's like that really strong energy coming in. Or yesterday, and the tahini smell was coming up here, as well as the prisoner, or released, seeing the lovers that you are. So there's an awakening here. Safta is also coming up, which is a grandmother name. Safta, incense, so maybe somebody burns a lot of incense, sealing the trapped or releasing. It's an incense seal coming up here. Safta, incense seal. That can be soft, an incense seal as well. Either causing someone to feel trapped or released. So whether you like that smell or not, but also it's enabling them to see the lovers that you are, seeing the completion. There's something about you that this could be family around your twin too, like seeing you or seeing you guys together and realizing how much you belong together, that you complete each other. And then sci-fi, as I lose my voice, because that's the masculine needing to speak up about his truth, sci-fi or a significant figure is coming up as the moral man's high. So instead of drugs or other things that other people may be addicted to, the moral man may be addicted to sci-fi or being a significant figure, right, of high status. Stinky hemp is also coming up here, as well as counting board, the abacus, so very intellectual processes, the dance of thoughts and words, and seeing the lovers that you are, your completion or completion point. Also, SFT was coming up, which is a sacred oil. High DNA, I stand open and yawn. So when you yawn, that means you're in your truth, right? Because you're relaxing. Your heart is opening up. And I love that statement. This was one of the definitions that came up in one of the words, is standing open, meaning allowing your heart to be open and relaxed, to take a pause, amazed in the wonder of all that is, or in uttering or a song or singing. The prisoner of love, you are complete. The 10 of Swords comes up here, and beneath the 10 of Swords is the 9 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the 6 of Swords reversed, and then the King of Swords upright. All right, so the underlying energy is over here. I don't know how well you can see it, but... Okay, so below that, I told you those cards. The 10 of Swords is on top as that betrayal or that painful ending or a painful death. There could be a sister or someone in hiding, suffering in silence. The Queen of Pentacles here, but she's upright, grounding and integrating a lack of peace with the King of Swords upright, in great pain or in a painful ending. This can be a massage as well. The Ace of Wands reversed, an abused angel or frustrated but patient. Post-war, the Emperor with the Queen of Swords reversed, who may not be talking to him or is scorned, or out in the cold left behind, needing to swallow their pride in a falling out, with the Emperor upright and the Hierophant upright, or Aquarius reversed with Aries and Taurus, or the patriarchy here. Presently walking away, leaving a gift behind, grounding, integrating a message of love, as the cowboy or fireman is leaving to sit under a tree. A big gaping hole, and gaping also came up as one of the definitions in the words that came up. leaving to sit under a tree, a big gaping hole that's been staring right at them the whole time. They just wouldn't look at it. Standing on a landmine after a fire, twin peaks in the distance or flattened trees, all the different shoes that he wears to find the missing piece, the hand of God and an outlook at Greece, now in the mountains under a tree, trying to figure out how they missed that one, throwing everything else off, burning the top off the cherry tree or topping it off and stunting its growth at 7:07, ending pain, bored of the game, and that can be a game board as well. At 7:07, again, 2 chariots or 2 vehicles of ascension or infiltration, the big love extended by the hand of God to reap rewards of efforts and being celebrated for a lie, a divide or split, trying to figure out a win-win with the 3 in the pumpkin patch, 3 cheers to getting him to do what we want by lying. The constant gardener with 7 perhaps can part with 1. Separation comes up here, and beneath that, give your relationship a chance, with the King of Cups upright and the Queen of Cups upright, forcing the magician reverse hand, knowing he doesn't have the guts to do it, making him angry enough to show them all and shock them, or a sneak attack, all dressed up with dinner prepared. The King of Cups with pet or petting daughter, and the Queen of Cups with pet or petting son, or each with a lover apart from each other, or someone got pregnant and had an abortion, or someone's mighty pissed off, or put their dog to sleep. No more dog under the table, and they're not burning the past, but preparing a dinner. What are they putting in it? Right? Because it's not someone who's happy with you. It's like someone pretending to be over it and making this beautiful dinner and dressing up or whatever, but they're doing something that's not good. Are you sure you can trust this temptress or abusive magician reversed here? And which one is it? We have Aries upright, Sag upright, Aquarius reversed, Taurus upright, Gemini or Virgo reversed, with the Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords upright, and the King and Queen of Cups are both upright, and the Magician is reversed. But someone who feels justified in what they're doing may not come up reversed. They may come up upright. So it's very difficult to see who you can trust here. The magician, you can't assume it's him. He might just be lacking confidence or the tools to deal with emotions here. Or he could be a really manipulative, evil person. We have love here, which is number 6, really significant, but even more so teaching and learning in separation, heartbreak, and disappointment. Broke, broken, broke up, or broke down, or stuck on call, or ghosting, or their car with issues, or a theft and a near-death carjacking, or a car accident, a hit and run and needing to heal, depressed, not sleeping, rising above, or awake and coming out, overworked, or things not working out with the Queen of Pentacles upright. Cancer and Scorpio and Aquarius all reversed here, or spontaneous healing, or no longer needs TEDs, or matching garments, or how did he become the liar, cheat, or thief to the Queen of Pentacles? And the Queen of Pentacles in pain or in a painful ending or betrayal, grounding, integrating a split, divide, or the lies, and shocked by love or a lover, or surprised of family at 7:29, which is the Chariot and the 3 of Wands. Leo may be out for a walk, or walking the dog or beast. Guinevere, the wounded warrior, and the King of Cups, the motley crew here perhaps. Going forward after this read is a secret passion who's powerless, as the Queen of Swords reversed, hanging out broken or stuck with a star, dream, and the Empress upright, with the Knight of Pentacles to take care of the devil, or sold their soul to the devil, or Capricorn. Or Pisces reversed and Virgo perhaps, dependent of the Queen of Swords reversed, hanging out, or them hung out to dry without a ride, as the Dream Girl Empress and Aquarius Taurus upright can offer the devil the world at 7:36, which is the Chariot and Atlas, the weight of the world upon their shoulders. But again, this could be, someone who uses money to own people. And again, selling your soul to the devil doesn't mean it's a man. It could be a woman as well. So then recent past here is the Abundance or the Empress upright, with the Knight of Swords delivery coming in and offering a thank you to a bored delivery guy, As the Page of Wands is reversed, the King of Wands upright, which can be a father and child, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss, and constant conflict between them, with the Hierophant, religious leader, establishment, or Taurus at work, where the Knight of Wands reversed falls short or can never do anything right in their eyes, or going insane, or with parent with dementia, or coming out about their failings or addictions, in a split, divide, or need for the truth, the Knight of Swords rushing in to dump multiple loads and or emotional attachments, without peace and imprisoned. The foundation being alchemy upright, a blending, doing the dance back and forth. The Page of Swords stepping it up, or doing the pelvic thrust. I wrote trust by accident there, so somebody might be doing something with a trust, the pelvic trust, in a time warp again. The King of Swords, with unstable home or moving, or with visitors, being a patient angel, even though they may not want to be there. The central energy is the Ace of Wands reversed, with no passion, frustrated, or just no humor, uninspired to dump a load, burden, or uninspired to dump all their responsibilities, or confess to the Knight of Cups reversed, who may be jealous, rejected, moody, or insincere, being given two choices by the Page of Cups, or an ultimatum by them, with the Knight of Cups reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed at work, coming out about the Page of Cups, who's upright and very loving and sweet and innocent, and the Sagittarius both upright and reversed, with Taurus and upright and Virgo reversed, and a lot of water here, challenged by the Eight of Swords, hiding in the dark, unable to see, and the Page of Cups, sweet offer of love to an old-timer, King of Pentacles reversed, and or Libra. The Page of Cups may have Leo in their chart, or be a pet, imprisoned in disconnect or at a distance, and letting go to fix, repair, or make amends. Walking away from Libra, or in a divorce, or in court. Betrayal, back pain, or a pain in the ass, perhaps choked, or holding back an announcement, or a bad call, and cause conflict with the Queen of Pentacles, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed family and the Ten of Cups reversed family both, which can be the Montagues and the Capulets, or your immediate family and your extended family, but they're both reversed here. And Aquarius or Star or Libra or Justice flirting and showing off, since all business relationship is not working out, and Quasimodo is no longer obsessing over the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Swords, whistleblowers, drained, burned, or in need of vacation, and overexposed and frustrated with the Queen of Pentacles, or forcing their hand. And now is the Four of Wands reversed, unstable home, or visitors, or moving, or ghosting, and making a mad dash, not wanting to hang out with them, after a sudden event, or resisting changes, post-war, or virus, with soulmate, or kids, or family, Queen of Pentacles. The King of Cups upright, with the past returning to haunt them, and being present to it, or kids not talking to him. Could be two Queen of Pentacles here as well, one who's well educated with peacock colors, and the other expecting him to kiss her feet, or she's really mad and kicking him away from her feet, or is just cold without feeling. There could be something about breast cancer or mastectomy there as well. Two living together but distant, or apart yet close, leaving or learning to love, or self-love, learning to love themselves, at 7:59, which is the Chariot and the War Within, with a negative family around, out of control kids, or the King of Pentacles reversed, who's all about money, and broke, or taking count, or he may be taking call as well, so that could be someone who's working all the time. At 7:59, or lost money in a breakup, but satisfied with themselves, in a heated exchange with Fairy Justice, or a feminine Libra perhaps. Without affection, or with Gemini in their chart, or their twin, the Page of Pentacles is upright, which can be an opportunity also, or an invitation to satisfy the Queen of Wands, defenseless to the energies, or an attack, or feeling ganged up on. Perhaps injured and out in the cold, in the never-ending deception, in a twist of fate, or Scorpio, Cancer, and Libra all reversed right here. And soon is the Page of Swords upright, getting to the top of a cold place, or stepping it up, as the Queen of Cups is focused on the heart and keeping to themselves. The Page of Cups may be sick of being, or just may be sick, or sick of being between the King of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups upright, or Libra and Leo both reversed, or a sick child or pet. The Queen of Cups is upright with a word and keeping it to themselves under the radar or table and unable to sleep or suffering in silence as the secret passion, powerless, or Pisces reversed daughter to the Queen of Pentacles may be heartbroken or in separation. The Queen of Wands reversed may be the Page of Wands reversed may be all over the place. So their energy, they could be freaking out, or just, a fire child who's bored, just running around kicking things because they're bored. It's that frenetic kind of energy, being all over the place. They could also be sick, and that could also be someone who's frustrated or uninspired. With the Divine Feminine in the 5D, or Pisces reversed. Oh, that's so funny. The Page of Cups is my daughter, and the fire energy is her dog. He's a puppy, and he's a Leo. So that's really funny. She did say I said, his name is Teddy Bear. I asked her if Teddy Bear was taking care of her. And she said, he's just running around playing. He's not concerned about me. The Divine Feminine, the 5D, or Pisces reversed, or the world upside down, or needing closure here at 848, which is the Strength card, and the 48 of Walking Away Within. The Twin Flames have the card of the higher self, but reverse, which is the secret passion energy, as opposed to the higher self energy, but with the tools to deal, or without the tools to deal with temptation or the devil themselves, or Pisces reversed, Gemini Virgo reversed, or Capricorn upright, with prisoner or feeling imprisoned, overworking or not working out, or over the ball and chain, the secret passion of Capricorn with Virgo, or with Gemini in their chart, or a manipulative temptress, or tempter with a hostage. We have true love here, trust, and new love for the twins, and around them is the Three of Swords, separation, heartbreak, being over it, falling from grace, or hit with a ball in the head perhaps, or withholding, or so magnetized they just can't help themselves. In a 5D connection with the Divine Feminine in 5D, the Empress is upright, or Aries and Pisces reversed, but Taurus is upright here, perhaps on break, and the kids are acting up, and mother playing hardball with them, with their allowance perhaps. Or if they're good, it may be the opposite, maybe getting a nice gift. And the block here being lovers reversed in a breakup or no affection, or Gemini reversed, or mother and daughter apart and missing each other. With completion, but even more so, spiritual partnership, communication, music, and follow your dreams. As the evil Empress, who could be different than the Empress, and the wounded warrior, so she could be the wounded warrior, she is sitting in his lap. So the evil Empress is coming up as the one sitting in the Divine Masculine's lap, coddling him. This could be a friend of the Masculines, that he, oblivious to the fact that they want them. So they've always been their best friend because they wanted to get in with them. But this also could be their partner who's coddling them because they don't want them to leave. It could be a mother energy too. It's not a good energy though. The evil Empress with the wounded warrior. She's sitting in his lap, like it's that energy of poor baby, she says, as the Knight of Swords is upright, sending the 5D messages after holding back or checking out, juggling Queen of Swords reversed and the Queen of Pentacles upright. Overexposed or blocked by the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords upright and the Knight of Pentacles is upright, offering something for pain and suffering or lack of peace, or calling, trying to make them feel better. Pisces reversed, Leo reversed, Taurus upright. And the Aquarius reversed, Scorpio reversed, Cancer reversed, and Libra reversed may be sick of being sick or needing to birth, but fell on their face or flopped, This could be just out of the gate trying something new and not succeeding the first time. Or perhaps they choked and got afraid to do something, or take a risk. And then the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave coming out, defenseless to the drama or energies or attacks by the Page of Cups child, or a message of love, or the Golden Child, the Star, the Dream Girl, or Aquarius, And that could be a grown person who acts like a child, but not necessarily in a good way. It could be someone who who always gets their way. Maybe they were the spoiled child growing up, they were daddy's little girl, and they never had to do anything for themselves. And perhaps that could be the partner of a divine masculine, for example. And so now he agreed that she could stay home and didn't have to work. And so now the situation may have changed, and maybe they're different now, or maybe they just can't not work now because of the situation of the economy. But this is someone who's never had to do anything for themselves. That's that kind of energy coming up. And it could be a child as well. So it's the golden child, the star, the dream girl, or Aquarius, or just being open to the night sky at 9:07, which is the Hermit and the Chariot. And that's the cross of the lucky person, is that if you have someone who's got really good planetary alignments, and they really just always get their way, right? Everyone likes them and they want to do things for them. The cross there is when something falls, it's big. It's not going to be easy, because there always has to be balance, especially if they've not been appreciative of all that they have, right? The spoiled child assuming that they should have that energy, or being entitled. There's a price to pay for that if you don't keep it balanced. So letting go without excuse. There could be here, so again, this open to the night sky, or dream come true, but there's no peace for the King of Swords with pain, alchemizing with secret passion in separation with the Empress who's not amused, challenged by prison or imprisonment, or feeling like that. The Page of Swords Gemini, or a message of twin breaking up or lack of affection there in an unstable home or union, visit or move, with the Knight of Swords and 5D messages or deliveries that may be weak or late, right? So it could be like a weak delivery, like not speaking well, which I have to say I'm not a great speaker, so I'm sorry if sometimes I trip on my words. So messages or deliveries, which may be weak or late, so again, it's Christmas, so a lot of deliveries may be late, or something that arrives that's not fresh, like flowers or food, if it comes late, may not be fresh, but also not using fresh information, or it's boring to people listening. That kind of energy can go many different ways. So letting go without excuse, and no need of one with the Page of Cups love here, or that very innocent, pure love. The Ten of Swords is ending pain, with the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, or the mother and daughter energy. Alchemy, patience, and one step at a time, forced to move or visit, and challenged by hiding, sight, or imprisonment. Secret passion with the Page of Swords climbing to the top of the mountain, or just over the top. Heartbroken in a breakup or lack of affection, or Gemini reversed Knight of Swords with a message with a weak delivery, or maybe it's a week-long delivery, with no direct downloads. The Divine Masculine's heart opening up, but defenseless to the Page of Cups, which is that pure, innocent love, which can be a child, an animal, a message of love, puppy love, at 9:17, which is the Hermit and the Star. And again, I was just getting to how wonderful the puppies are to help heal you, right? Because when they're oblivious to your situation, you can't blame them for that. And then they come around with their sweet little face and just look at you, and it warms your heart. She has a little Aussie, and he's so cute. I think I'll show you a picture. There's a picture of her with him that she posted. I want to show that to you. It's so sweet. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. That's so funny. As soon as I opened this, there was a picture of a black cat, as opposed to my so anyway, if I can get this is my daughter's Instagram, but anyway, that's her picture with her puppy. Look how cute he is. I think he's a little bigger than that now, but anyway, I really like that picture too. It's really cute. He's so cute. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards. Where are we? We're at 119.10, which is the Sun, and a turn for the better with the Magician. It's 3:10 on the clock, which is 3 of the Empress or Gaia, and 10 of a turn for the better again, or 31 with 0 behind it, which can be groups, conflict, games, pursuit of happiness, depending on which perspective you have. And let's pull from the Animal Spirit deck and see what comes up for you guys. So again, the energies came up here with Sagittarius and a lot of Pisces energy with Neptune and 12, but also Capricorn. And just as an example, my daughter's Pisces, but we both have Capricorn moon, me and her, and I'm Virgo. And I'm on that axis with Pisces, so. And I have Cancer rising. So I'm like the mother, my rising is the mother energy, right? The home energy, and then my moon is the father energy of Capricorn. So no wonder I'm so mixed up. I'm trying to figure out which energy I am. All right, let's see here. All right, so what is the takeaway from this read? That fell right out on his head. So these are only in upright. I don't do these reversal, but he fell on his head. The tiger fell on his head. And this is the Bengal tiger that jumped through the ring of fire in the Union read today. So when he got through to the other side, but he might have fallen on his head and hurt himself. So, but this is that stalking energy, right? The tiger is beautiful energy. Actually, when we did the spreading of my parents' ashes, my dad got this card of the tiger. But then we have the panther as well. Oh, it's a fight, right? And this is the one that causes chaos. So this is the dark energy. It's the dark versus the light. It's like that boxing match that came up in the read. And then we have the elk here too. This is like the ref. It's literally a boxing match with the referee over here who's a hothead. This is also the crown opening, the opening of the crown of the elk, because the elk is described in this deck as a very wonderful person, but if they don't eat right, they get really arrogant and grouchy, so you don't want to mess with them when you haven't fed them properly. So, and it's funny that we had the cats out front. We had a white cat in front of my house, and then when I opened up those sites, and it wasn't my daughter's site, but whatever came up right away was a black cat. So there's the black cat and the white cat there for you, right? Again, the balancing of the polarities with the referees. There could be mediations here, but this could be a big fight. Like this one's really aggressive. That's like one of the most aggressive cards in this deck. And then we have the Phoenix, which is rising from the ashes again. And they definitely look like they go together with the coloring. So what am I getting there with that? And then the owl comes up after that too, right? Because this could be someone, there could be mediation here. And then even with mediation, they had to pull in, like an independent mediator or counselor or what am I thinking of, the word? At work, when you pull in an independent company. That's what I'm getting there. And to get plugged in, who may be plugged in where others aren't not. So again, this is very activated, but this also can be part of the matrix, right? When you're plugged in like the matrix, it means that you're plugged into the matrix and not independent. So this card can go either way. It can be meaning you're plugged into the matrix, or you're just plugged in to whatever they are coming up with. Let's see what's coming up. So the card after the stingray here is the camel. And this is someone who's very independent. So that means they're plugged into their own self, which is good. I mean, this was very clear because they were answering the question about that. But they're very independent, but they might be a little bit blue. So there's definitely independent counselor coming in to give advice, where if they can't make a settlement here, and this is big energy. So this could be corporations, this could be family members, it could be a divorce. But when they can't figure it out, like it was me, I was dealing with the plumbers, with Roto-Rooter this week. So when you can't find a solution there, it's rising from the ashes with an independent source. right? Someone who's very plugged in to an independent person who won't be biased one way or the other. So there's definitely settlements coming in here. And the bottom of the deck is Mr. Bojangles. There's the mouse. The mouse is nervous Nelly. They got that rainbow energy, but they're very little, so it's hard for them to overcome all this darkness. And there's a newbie too. This one has all their light. It's clear, but they're really intimidated. They won't open up. They're intimidated. This is a newbie. They're not ready. They think they're not ready, but they're actually in a better state than the mouse is. But these are little ones, caught in the web. I'm getting that for pets as well, because you're wondering if pets, I don't know what the information is about pets getting sick, but this can have to do with this as well. This also can represent just someone keeping their energy to themselves if they have to be around others who may be ill or who have nervous energy, right? This is someone who's sealing themselves off so they don't feel their nervous energy over here, or whatever kind of energy they have. Like learning to clear yourself and again, put boundaries up every day. And teaching our children how to do this with their intentions, especially on the web, right? Because you don't know what energies your children are dealing with on the web. So that's definitely coming up. So very interesting. This is definitely big conflict here between power energies here, because these are some of the biggest powers in the deck. But this one is not nice energy. And there's the mediation, but they could be a hothead too. So then they're, in order to rise from the ashes, they're calling in an independent consult. That's what I was looking for, consulting, right? Because they're tapped into the independent community as opposed to some kind of subjective person who may not be objective, or someone who's eaten well. They don't have a hot temper because they haven't been fed. What else am I getting though? I'm getting something. I don't know if this is literally a fight. Is there some kind of big fight going on right now, like a boxing match that's very well advertised? Because I'm kind of getting like that as well. Like a really, yeah. In Phoenix? So I'm going with a Phoenix sports team or something? Ew, I'm getting the Tiger King again too. Just give me a second. And there's some kind of big two opposing forces that need to get mediated or settled. I'm getting Elon. Ah, look, what did I say about Elon? Elon. Right? Dealing with the dark and the light. I just talked about that in the read. He's rising from the ashes here. Cool. Look, maybe he's dealing with Papa here from the shack. They call God Papa. And from TI from his source. And then Pa. I'm in PA as well. And then we have L for Elon. And the Phoenix rising. How cool is that? I'm just getting tip of the iceberg. Source pan. Source panties. Panty LK. The Panthers from hell. That's definitely, and literally, this is like the elites leaving the planet energy, I'm telling you. This is like Elon Musk rising from the ashes. Sourcing independence instead of the powers that be. Very interesting. Let me know if you hear anything. And maybe for the children. And that came up in the video I watched this morning on Elon. They were talking about how many children he has. Spirit's connecting with me too. All right, so what is our takeaway from this read? The communal dance. And again, it's the 5 of expansion. That's what Elon Musk talks about. Everything he does is for the betterment of humanity, to change something for humanity, not keep it the same. The 5 is expansion, freedom, and change, and the communal dance. And I was seeing a heart when I first pulled this card out. Not sure why, but I was getting that heart shape for some reason. It's like the heart here, but missing the other hump. You see that? And I was just talking about the humps of the heart. So that's significant there. Just needing the other side of themselves, right? To complete the communal dance. And it's not that you need someone else to survive, but we are all codependent on each other because we all are each other. That's the whole point. But in a positive love energy, not in negative or neediness energy. And there's the cloak of the 5 again, the 50 of the 10 of cups, of emotional fulfillment, happy family, happy endings. The cloak of emotional fulfillment, of being one of the community. But there's loneliness there. See? It's about the loneliness of the masculine and coming together with the bride. And again, Elon's coming up as an example because he's one of the 144, but he contracted with the dark. It seems like he's coming back to the light side. The bride offers herself with the 43 coming together. She's in chaos. He's in calm, contemplating emotional fulfillment. And her standing in the perfectly willing to put herself at the top of the bridge with no protection, willing to stand in the chaos to come together. And she's saying, but where are you in all this? Where are you? And then there's the central awakening of bliss, of the 64 when it turns over is the bliss of the blood dance, of the 1-to-1, the 2 coming together, of 2 hearts as 1. And there's the exaggeration of the heart, closer. Take a closer look. There is that Christ white light blooming from within this heart, the rosed heart, as opposed to the lotus crown. So yeah, very interesting as gifts come on board. There's a huge download right now going on. I mean, we get them every quarter, approximately there, but this is a huge event this month. The ancient ones, 52, again, of the Queen of Swords, right? That was the number that came up with all of the swords and wands, 52, the Queen of Swords, receiving the light. You see all the beings there, the ancient ones, receiving all the light. And there's the opposite, right? The fire and ice, the burning hero of the masculine, but it's coming up as a 3 of the Empress here. The fire and ice within the feminine, but this is Christ energy right here, right? Burning into the divine feminine. I'm getting rolling it all into one. And he has a picture too where he looks like he's holding a sleeping bag like this. But this is like Christ energy, like on the cross, being taken off the cross as the divine feminine, receiving all the light. And of course, the 3 very much represents the Christ energy. The 52 is the Queen of Swords. So this is coming up too as, as a 3D gate holder, Christ walked the earth and dealt with the drama of the earth, dealt with the fire ego energy, whereas the feminine is dealing with the wake up of receiving all the light, which is also very difficult, but in an opposite way from within. So they both have their battles to play, but the masculine from the fiery 3D energy and the feminine from the 5D light within energy. Okay, so it's bringing up that energy. And of course, the third energy is that joy of the child, the 46 of the children loving each other. This is just the underlying energy. Okay, so the first card out is about the community dance, of the coming together of the community. And this very much, again, encircles that kind of energy around the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island and the 9/11 Memorial, and the loneliness of the masculine here outside the community, and the loneliness of the feminine within the vortex, waiting for the masculine within the chaos, for him to arrive, the three of coming together. And this is the emotional fulfillment of his emotional fulfillment of family with the 10 of cups and the 5. But her sitting in the vortex amidst all the chaos of birth and the essential awakening of bliss. In the two coming together of the blood dance, two hearts as one, realizing, and closer, when you go closer, you can see the Christ light blooming out from the rose within the masculine's heart, the magician embodiment, where their gifts are received in transition. The 13 of Fiacus is also coming up here. So let's see what they say. The first card out was the tiger, and then this one is, the first card was the community. Okay. So the tiger, of course, is fire. The tiger's lunar force. How perfect for today, the 18th, and the full moon. Ease in the darkness, feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. The Spirit's connecting with me. When in balance, passionate, strong, and sensual, but when they're out of balance, they're overstimulated. To bring back into balance, a trataka, which is candle gazing. So you might want to candle gaze tonight. And again, this is coming up as the divine feminine versus the divine masculine, which is really aggressive energy of that panther. So let's see. I'm going to read the panther too, since it's coming up as the masculine and feminine. Did I miss him already? Where are you? There's Panther. So Panther's annihilation of the unnecessary purging. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kind of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. So that's that Elon Musk energy. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When they're in balance, they're brave and productive, but when they're out of balance, they're self-destructive. To bring back into balance, get rid of the unnecessaries. So, which is coming up as Elon getting rid of the dark energies in his life. Deciding to pursue love. And again, that's just an example of what the message is for all of you. So, the number 5 comes up here as the community. And this one says, lover, you have been alone too long. Your community calls you to surrender your isolation for this moment in time and instead join the cosmic Congo line. Do you know how special you are? So much that this community would not be the same without you? Your individuality and uniqueness can only enhance this group of souls that calls you to dance with them. Men and women, human and spirit, heaven and earth, your community is vast and rich and has much to share with you. Be lifted in celebration of belonging. Recognize that you are part of something great. Can your heart grow warm with recognition? You belong. You're meant to be part of this great dance of love awakening on the earth. Your heart is already beating to the rhythm of the music. This oracle brings you guidance. You're being drawn into new community that is more aligned with your innate spiritual vibration. You'll feel more at home there and be able to share your gifts and talents more freely and with greater support. Let go of relationships or situations that you've been holding on to out of fear. If they are meant to continue with you, they will remain. If not, they will fall away, creating space for new connections to come into your life now. This is not a time to hide in what you have known, but to be open to playful connection with kindred spirits, soon to be met. And the poem reads, when I stood in front of you, I knew something was in store. I could feel the excitement of your journey ahead, or of our journey ahead, for I had been that way before. Each person comes into our life with lessons we may see, and in the reflection of that other self is the person we can be. And by the way, this is page 23, which is that King of Wands that needed balance with the King of Swords. Okay, so again, I think we've been called to stay in and stay out of drama until the full moon. And since we're releasing the full moon tonight, they're saying after this point in the holidays, you're being pushed more out into the community to do your work, to do your magic. So make sure you drink your water, plenty of water to flush everything out, to make you feel healthy and connected, plenty of rest as much as you can, and don't punish yourself if you can't, right? It is what it is. And the joy in nature, make sure you ground yourself and do something that makes you happy. That's 40:40 on the clock. Breathe. Breathe again. And rise and be love, you guys. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing day.